Hey, party people, it's Cliff. You read the title. I think that in this world and age, if you live like everyone else, you're going to behave like everyone else. And sometimes that's okay. Sometimes that's fine. Uh, in the part of relationships, I believe that a lot of my friends have gotten into relationships and marriage, and they've bought their house. They have a good job. They did all that stuff, and I tried to do that stuff too. But I think eventually, as far as dating and relationships, oh man, I forgot my watch this morning. Oh well. I know what time it is. It's time to record a video. No, but, I tried to do the whole thing too, and never found the one, still haven't found the one, and then I learned that I lived a very non-conformed, I suppose, lifestyle. And in that living a non-conform lifestyle, or not upgrading, not keeping up with the Joneses, which is, if you don't know what that is, it's basically like, somebody else has something more better, higher, stronger, faster than you, and you got to have that thing. And eventually, I never fell into that trap. I basically said, you know what? All I need is one car, good car. All I need is one place, place over my head, and just one job, and just have it all be consistent. And because of that, I am very lucky to be living in a place and in a world, and my personal finances are okay, like personal job and career are okay. I'm not doing too bad. You know what's doing too bad? I'm gonna blow my nose because I'm just sneezing. All right, let's see here. So I get a whole bunch of napkins. Chipotle has the best napkins for blowing your nose. Oh man, take that, AI. You're not gonna see this on any other channel. Somebody blowing their nose, being disgusting, or being coughing, or whatever. That's just normal. That's human. That's human biology, fast at work. And I know nobody wants to see that, but live like nobody else so you can live like nobody else can. And there's when you get your finances in order, when you have a solid state of mind, and you have a good skill set, working career, that's pretty much all you need. I just don't understand it why, well, actually, no, I take that back. It's not that I don't understand it. It's just that I don't understand why certain kinds of people fall into the certain kinds of traps. I suppose I do understand a little bit why, but I'm not an expert in it. And some of those traps are like, ooh, look at this, new shiny thing at the mall that I could buy. Or look at this new, a subscription service. Or, I'm going to go, I'm going to spend $20 when I could either do it for $10 or, do it for free. And I think there's a large push out there now in the YouTube space about how do you gain more money, how do you gain more how should I even say, how do you gain not followers, but I don't know. I kind of look at her like my sister, right? Because she is going through a process to get a job. She basically quit her other job because of just out of a whim, and pretty much she just makes the bad financial decisions. I guess that's it, right? Making good decisions, that are going to have an effect on your life 10 years from now. That's the thing you ought to be doing, instead of the decisions that are keeping you happy right now. Why is this guy walking across the street? Fine. It's just kind of like that, right? Like that guy, you might have saw him in the, as he drove by. It's like, all right, maybe you've done this before. Maybe you're walking across the street, when there's a whole bunch of cars coming. That's fine. I don't do that. There's a chance that, somebody might blow a tire, might swerve into you, might, and that's it. But that's the chance you want to risk if you want to make it across the street, faster in 30 seconds. I don't know, a lot of life advice that you could like pull from when you say like live like nobody else will, so you can live like nobody else can. But I don't know. It's funny. I keep up with financial channels. I keep up with, the ongoings of the world, and look and try to make a decision based on what's happening or what the future is going to be happening with the world, and moving into that direction. Like, for instance, I've been doing reality TV and documentaries forever. I still think there's a place for documentaries in the world, but reality TV is kind of going to the wayside. There's always going to be like, Survivor, or what are some other ones? 90 Day Fiance, which is one that we do. There's always going to be those like longevity shows. Anything with the Real Housewives, any reality show where you take people, put them in a house, and let drama happen. There's always going to be that reality show. But earlier in Christmas, I went over. I set up my technology. I set up my parents' technology for all of the entire year, and I'm like, I hope nothing goes wrong, or else I'm gonna have to like remote in and help fix them. But the thing is, I noticed that they have a Spectrum account, and they switched out their DVR recorders for these Zumo boxes, and these Zumo boxes are basically like a streaming box, online. And why are all the people, moving towards streaming? Because it's cheaper, it's easier. And, reality TV existed, like MTV Road Rules, or, some of those other ones, like old ones. Johnny K. Placida worked on that. 19 Kids and Counting worked on that. And the reason why reality TV existed is because old-fashioned TV, broadcast TV, you needed channels. You needed something to just keep being on the air, right? Because if you have dead air, people switch it off your channel, and then nobody will watch your station. So reality TV was the cheap version of, you need so many hours in a day in order to fill up the TV time. That's why there's a whole bunch of reruns, But in the age of streaming, in the age of our, infrastructure today, everybody's moving to streaming. You don't need that anymore. Everything is on demand. So if you don't need that anymore, you make TV shows and you make documentaries and you make reality TV for things that people want to watch, and people don't want to watch reality TV. So I do think reality TV is going to go to the wayside here probably in the next 10 years. And people really want, people pay $15, $20 for their subscription to watch, Netflix, or, the new Lord of the Rings like TV shows. And it's actually really good, because you have a lot of TV shows, scripted TV shows and stories that are, all over the place today. But at the same time, the reality TV space is going to go downhill. Scripted TV is a lot more expensive than reality TV. And so I don't even know what all that stuff like falls into, whatchamacallit, live your life like nobody else will, so you can live life like nobody else can. I mean, it's one of those things where, you gotta make the hard decisions that don't make you happy now, but it's the decisions that's gonna make you happy later, or that's gonna like lead to an enhancement of your career, or studying at school, learning a new trade craft, that type of thing. So that's it. I think if you take those words and you apply them to like everything that you do in life, every decision that you make, as I try to do, you're gonna be better at finances. You're gonna be better at making, you know, like big purchases like a home. I remember I was trying to oh man, this guy's getting into an accident. Yeah, that's okay. Or something. Yeah, poor guy. Oh well, man, his lights are even on. But but yeah, I remember there was two places that I could buy. I could buy like a 2-bedroom, 2-bath house for like 135,000. I know it's like long ago, right? Or I could get in a condo for 80,000. And I remember at the time when I was only making 26,000 a year, I couldn't afford the 2-bedroom, 2-bath, so I bought the condo. The condo was really close to work, and the condo did all right. And I still own that condo today, and it still rents out for a good amount. But had I and the thing is, like, always get a home inspection. That's the thing. You always get a home inspection, because that was the best $600 I ever spent, was getting that home inspection. Ooh. And you know, that home inspector, like, the roof trusses weren't attached, the AC was leaking, the concrete slab was cracked, there was a river behind it that was eroding away at the yard. And I'm sitting there like, holy crap, you know, if I buy this house, if I make this decision to get this place, even though I wanted a garage, like, I would have been stuck with it forever, and then I couldn't get it sold, and that would be like, you know, stuff in debt. So I got a little small apartment. I didn't do what everyone else did, which is like, oh, buy a house and use a fluctuating interest rate and not a 30-year fixed and all that stuff. And so, you know, it's all those decisions. It's the decisions that you make, man. Like, just think ahead. Just think a little bit more ahead than what you're doing before. And you know what I got to do? I got to get into work and think ahead myself. So I hope you guys are good. I hope you guys stay out there. Subscribe if you want to. I don't even care. But I will see you guys a little bit later. Until next time. Bye.